This is TJR, and you're about to listen to a First Reaction review. First Reaction reviews are album reviews where I write about my thoughts on the album while I am listening to it for the first time. These are my gut reactions. I reserve the right to change my opinions upon listening to the album a second and third time at a later date. Thanks for watching. I was pretty impressed with the last Pretty Reckless album. I thought it was a much-needed shot of straight-ahead rock with a strong pop songwriting sensibility. So I was certainly interested in hearing how their next album would sound when it came out. Well, that time is now. So right from the start, the band tells me that they will not be a one-trick pony with the opening smoky barroom piano-based intro, "The Walls Are Closing In," which leads into the mystical Hangman. And, oh my God, a minute and 24 seconds in, and I am already having an Alice in Chains rockgasm. And they have the balls to sing it in Latin, too. Way to go, guys and girl. There are more subtle textures in this one song than most bands do on a whole album. Track 2, coincidentally enough entitled "Oh My God," once again displays the amazing musical and songwriting chops that this band has as the song shifts between its speed thrash verses to its more pop chorus without ever breaking a sweat. Track 3, "Take Me Down," is the Pretty Reckless's version of Crossroads. This is their blues song as only they could do it. I love the pulsating rhythmic of acoustic and electric guitars, and I love the gospel-influenced backing vocals near the song's end. So far, there has been no letting up, and I am loving every minute of it. If I was to compare this album so far to a sexual experience, I would describe it like this. Imagine you have this lover, and the two of you have gotten pretty comfortable with each other. Then she goes away for a few months, and when she comes back, she's learned a whole lot of new things, and she wants to try some of them on you. At first you're thinking, wow, this is awesome. But then after a little while, you start to think, oh my gosh, this is great. But am I going to survive the night? Track 4, "Prisoner," opens with a chain gang rhythm and then brings in an AC/DC style guitar riff. So far, this slightly slower mid-tempo rocker is all the relief the band wants to give you. My advice is to just go with it. Now, having rocked us pretty hard up to now, the Pretty Reckless decides to funk us out too. Combining heavy guitar with 70s funk vibes, we enter into "Wild City," which is track 5 on the album. Lead vocalist Taylor Momsen proves that she can hang with the soul singers as easily as she can hang with the rock singers. And finally, when we get to track 6, we get a little bit of a break. We get a lone acoustic guitar, and the album eases off the gas a bit for "Back to the River." This is definitely the album's most radio-friendly song so far. But the band makes no compromises in who they are in order to reach that goal. Of course, in a sane world, all the tracks that I have heard on this album so far would be considered radio-friendly. "Back to the River" could have been released by the Black Crowes as easily as it could have been released by Blackberry Smoke. And they all would have done a great job with it because, like everything on this album so far, it's a well-written song. Since the band has eased off the gas a bit with the last song, they decide to ease off the gas some more with the title track, 7, "Who Ya Sellin' For?" Having been a working musician, I relate to this song. It's about the line of confusion and pain between trying to embrace the passion of performing night after night to your audience and the hard, cold realization that the venue bases your whole value and future on how many tickets you sold. This song so poetically encapsulates this that I really don't know what else to say. Track 8 eases off the gas even more for the purely acoustic, finger-plucked ballad Bedroom Window. Can this album get any softer? I don't know, but if it does, I am ready. Is this song the quiet before the storm? If it is, it's a wonderfully reflective quiet. We have two voices on this song, Taylor's vocals and Tommy Burns' guitar, and they blend beautifully. Somewhere out there, the song Blackbird by the Beatles is listening to this song and is smiling back. So yeah, after easing off the gas about as much as they could, the band decides it's time to cook with some grease again. But they bring us back gradually with track 9, Living in the Storm. Fast, but not too fast, is the operative word here. I think this song is best described as cinematic, with its swirling guitar line doing its best to put us into the storm of the song's lyrics about someone banging at the door and I don't know who all you people are. On track 10, I was expecting them to kick it up another notch, but instead, I am surprised with a straight-out blues number entitled Already Dead. This is a sad song about putting on a happy face in public, but feeling dead inside. The song's main character talks about being alone up on stage, so I sure hope that Taylor isn't being autobiographical in the song and is instead just being a screenwriter and she's just playing the character. Because there is too much talent in this band and I don't want to see anything bad happen to them. I mean it. Track 11, The Devil's Back, feels like part 2 of Already Dead as our main character continues to contemplate what happened to the times when they were happy. I guess you could say that Already Dead is the call-out and that The Devil's Back is the answer. Once again, I hope this is just storytelling and not autobiography because this is all sung and performed so convincingly. Oh, also, I love the Pink Floyd star guitar leads that play in the background during the song's long, slow close, which doesn't overstay its welcome. Now, the closing track, Mad Love, first gives us a little tease of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds before, well, surprise, surprise, before it dares to give us a disco funk groove. Honestly, it's the last thing I would have expected to close out this album, but trust me, it works. From beginning to end, this album musically tickles me in all the right places. The band has grown so much since their last album, and they aren't afraid to show it. It feels like they challenged themselves with every song and said, hey, how far do you think we can go? And that's what rock and roll should be about, challenging yourself and challenging your fans to keep up in the process. In that respect, I kind of compare the difference between this album and 2014's Going to Hell to the leap that the Alabama Shakes took between Boys and Girls and Sound and Vision. Way to go, Pretty Reckless. Way to stay relevant. Now, everybody listening, go out and buy this damn album. This is TJR. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Have you heard this album? What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Is there anything else I should have mentioned? I am looking forward to reading your comments.